Hey, what's up, guys? It's Foster from English no Rádio. Just a quick heads up that for the next couple of days, we will be talking to one of our first and most special guests, Annemarie from SpeakConfidentEnglish.com. And speaking of speaking confident English, if you want to speak confident English, you have to speak with native speakers. You guys know this by now. We think that one of the best ways to speak confidently with native speakers, with professional professors from all over the world, whenever you want, wherever you want, is with Cambly. So, if you're listening to this show, you can go to Cambly.com or download the Cambly application on your phone and use the referral code Inglês no Cru Podcast to get your first class for free. And if you like Cambly, if you already understand the importance of speaking with real people, Cambly has an even sweeter deal for listeners of our show. You can go to Cambly and use the promotional code Promo Inglês no Cru to get 40% off all of their annual plans. That is literally the fraction of a cost of a more traditional English school. So again, go to Cambly.com. You can use the promo code Inglês no Cru Podcast to get your first class for free. And if you want to try out their annual plans for 40% discount, you can use the referral code Promo Inglês no Cru. Okay, let's get on with the show with Annemarie Fowler. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Inglês no Cru Rádio. We have one of our first and most special guests returning, with Annemarie Fowler, who is the owner, founder, director, the doer of all things at SpeakConfidentEnglish.com. Annemarie, welcome back to the show.
Thanks. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, so I believe you were on episode like 30, something more or
Really?
less like that.
Wow. I didn't realize it was that early into your podcast. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think you were our second guest of all time
Cool.
and one of our most well-received guests, I have to
Awesome.
admit.
Awesome.
People tend just to like the way you speak and the things that you talk about and your positivity. So we're really happy to have you back.
Yeah. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So Annemarie, just for people that perhaps did not listen to the episode that we recorded more than a year ago, could
Hmm.
you give a brief introduction about who you are, what you do?
Sure. So, as you said, I'm the owner of SpeakConfidentEnglish.com. We focus on providing educational materials, inspiration, motivation for developing confidence in spoken communication. And we particularly focus on shy language learners, individuals who have been learning English for years and years, but still feel really nervous or stuck when they try to speak and lose all their words or just don't have the confidence to share ideas, start conversations. So that's what we really focus on in all of our online lessons, our YouTube channel, and the courses that we offer as well.
That's amazing. I wish something existed like that when I started learning Spanish years
Mm-hmm.
ago,
Mm-hmm.
because as you know, I am quite a shy person. And
Uh-huh.
I think you've struggled with shyness learning
Yep.
languages in the past.
Definitely.
So that is awesome.
Yeah. I'm still looking for someone to do the same thing in French for me because even though I finally have achieved a place in French where I'm really comfortable and I can communicate, I'd still love to keep improving. I want to get better, and I haven't found anyone yet who can do what I want them to do in French. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
If there are any Brazilians that also teach French, the opportunity is on the
There
table.
we go. There we go. Yeah.
So, Annemarie, I think this ties in really well to the idea of students struggling to overcome being timid or shy or nervous. Um, and also, this theme that we have been doing the last few weeks on the show talking about business,
Hmm.
because one of your areas of expertise is with interviews and
Hmm.
preparing students for job interviews.
Yeah,
So you actually have a course specifically for job interview preparation. Is that correct?
correct. Yeah, confident job interviews.
Cool. Could you just tell me a little bit about the basic overview of that course? Like who's it for?
Yeah. So it really is for international English speakers. So those of you who use English as a second, third, or fourth language who are honestly just nervous and overwhelmed with how to prepare for a job interview in English. You have all the expertise in your field, the knowledge that you need, the experience, but you have a difficult time talking about it in English. That might be due to lack of experience. It might be that you feel really uncomfortable talking about your strengths, which is a central part of a job interview in English. And many people from different language and cultural backgrounds struggle with how to identify what their strengths are, their skills, how to talk about them in a way that is confident but not arrogant, and do it in a way that makes them feel comfortable in a job interview. So those are some of the things we focus on is how do you do that? How do you find out what your strengths are and skill sets are? How do you know which ones you should talk about in a job interview? And how do you do it in a way that's comfortable for you, that allows you to demonstrate your background, your expertise, without being arrogant or sound too proud of what you've done?
Right. Right. That's always a delicate balance of
Hmm.
being confident and then just sounding like you know everything.
Right.
That is another resource that I wish existed many, many years ago for me.
Right. Right.
So it sounds like you not only work with the actual language, but also kind of diving into the more psychological element of what are your skills and identifying your skill set.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, that's the first part of the course is we first just we go to the most challenging part first, which is figuring out what your strengths are and how can you get comfortable talking about them. And then we take the next step of actually starting to practice the language and practice a variety of traditional interview questions and also those that are unexpected and unusual, because definitely in job interviews, there are several questions that are often quite tricky to answer and something that you didn't plan for, you didn't expect. There are some really odd questions. There's one that we practice a lot in the course, like if you were a farm animal, what animal would you be and why? And I actually had that job interview question once, and it
Whoa.
seems like a really strange question to ask. But there are some reasons that interviewers ask those questions. So we practice everything from tell me about yourself to those kinds of questions.
So can I ask you, how did you respond to the farm animal question?
Yeah, you know what? It's a little embarrassing. Definitely now that I've had a lot of time to think about it, my answer sounds better than it did in the interview. But I thought about it for a little bit, and I think I ended up saying I would be a pig because pigs are surprisingly intelligent and
Yeah.
they're not afraid to get in and get dirty and get into the details and go through, So the analogy was that I'm not afraid to tackle things. We have that expression in English. Um, I'm not afraid to get dirty, which is I'm not afraid to get into the details and the challenges and find the
Yeah.
solution and dig into things. I actually really enjoy that and thrive on it. Um, and not, I mean, hopefully no one would be that surprised that I'm somewhat intelligent, but there are some things that I feel like I definitely have some expertise in. So that was my answer. And I thought my other hope was that the answer would stand out a little bit because not that many people would say, well, I'd be a pig. So I was hoping I would be a little memorable for that one.
That is amazing. If you're looking for a job, I would hire you immediately
Right.
right now. We don't have any job opportunities, but I was
Right.
immediately thinking I would say goat
Ooh,
because
yeah.
I love goat cheese. My only answer. I don't think
Why
people
not?
would.
That's a great one too. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I've received a handful of bizarre interview questions. I think the most difficult one was how many golf balls do you think you could fit in a Boeing 737?
Oh my gosh. What do you even say? I mean, I do know how you should plan for that question, but yeah, that would take me a little bit of time to think about.
Yeah, it's very strange because I used to be a competitive golfer when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
and I really dropped the ball literally on that
Yeah.
question. Just started talking about my childhood.
Excellent. Excellent.
So I think that's a great point that there are always in most interviews the normal questions that you expect. You can
Hmm.
prepare answers for, like, what are your strengths, weaknesses? Tell me about yourself.
Right.
But do you have any advice for those questions that kind of come out of nowhere and surprise
Yeah.
you? Like, how do you prepare for an answer that you were unprepared for?
Yeah, actually, so I definitely have an answer to that. The truth is, with those kinds of questions, there isn't a right, I mean, there is not, maybe there's a right answer for how many golf balls you would put on a 737. Somebody could probably physically do that and put golf balls in a plane and count how many there are. So there is an answer, but the person asking you that question in the job interview doesn't have that answer. So there isn't a right or a wrong. It's really a question where they want to see how you respond and react to something unexpected. Because the truth is, in any job, there will be days when everything goes wrong. There will be days when the deadline is missed. There are days when huge mistakes get made and things that you didn't expect happen. And so, this is a question that aims to figure out how you would respond in the job when it's something unexpected or in a high stress situation. What do you do when you have high anxiety or high stress? Are you someone who can pause and think logically and try to come up with a solution, even if it's not the perfect answer right away? Can you
Mhm.
handle the situation well? Or do you freak out? Do you panic? And do you freeze and just stop? So that's one of the reasons interviewers ask that question or ask questions like that, is they're really testing you to see how you respond in those situations. So the my first response is, be prepared for an unexpected question and show them that you can think about it and say, wow, that's a really interesting question. I've never put golf balls in a 737. And let it be an opportunity for you to talk through how you might figure out the answer. This is, again, part of the process of seeing how you think. How do you approach problems? How would you solve a situation like that that's really strange and something you've never had to do before? So it's an opportunity to think out loud a little bit and show them your thinking process. The other thing I would say is, whatever your answer ends up being, and this isn't true for all of them, but for example, with my answer of I'd be a pig on a farm because they're intelligent, not afraid to get dirty, that answer also let me highlight some of the skills or strengths that I felt were really important. And I wanted to find another way to identify those or to bring those back into the conversation of the interview. So some of the questions that might be really odd are, again, an opportunity for you to highlight something that you feel like describes you or something you want them to know about you and why you're a good fit for the position.
Hey guys, thanks so much for listening to another episode of Inglês no Rádio. If you like what we do, if you want to support the show, here's what you can do. Leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Android, wherever you listen to the podcast. It really helps other people discover the show. And you can sign up for our VIP newsletter. So each time we release new courses, early discounts for Sound School, new worksheets, special discounts, the people on our newsletter are the first to know. So if you are interested in the things we are doing, go to inglesnucru.com and sign up. And as always, keep up the good fight and lose well. Até já.